I'm back.
You are back. How are you, son?
So Dave, as usual, we've had to go to the back because people don't like turning their music off at a record fair, do they?
Well, I think basically that's what they're there for, mate, isn't it? So,
well then.
So yeah, we've got to retreat to somewhere a lot quieter.
Quieter, where we don't get...
but more conducive, mate, more conducive.
It is conducive. Right, so what have we got today? You've got a little pile of stuff here.
Yeah,
I'm excited. And can I just say, the last video, people loved it.
Did they?
They did. And if you're loving this, you're loving seeing Dave back, talking music, vinyl, all that stuff, put a comment, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Let's get on with it.
Right. What I'm going to do today is to share my love. My first love was Tamla Motown music. It was like in my middle teens. So I had an older brother, and he used to bring home these records. I mean, bearing in mind at that time people were into the Beatles and stuff, and he was bringing home albums by people like Marvin Gaye and the Four Tops, which, no, I mean, they weren't universally known at that particular time. So it was a bit of an introduction to something that stayed with me all my life. Now, a lot of people think that Tamla Motown started in 1965, which is relatively true. The label itself started in 1965, but Tamla Motown, or Motown in America, issued records in this country from 1959. And what they had to do before they were established in England, they had to lease these records out to other labels. Because they didn't have an identity in this country, they had to release the records via another label.
In the UK, you mean?
In the UK.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is, they had 5 labels that they leased to before they established themselves. So they started off on the London label in 1959 with a Marv Johnson record. And then they went on to Fontana, where they had 4 records released. Then they went on to Oriole label, which is a couple of examples I'm going to show you. And then they went on to the Stateside label. And it, as I say, it wasn't until 65 that they actually were big enough and confident enough to establish their own label. So what I'm going to show you now is a record by a guy called Ellie Holland. Right, now Ellie Holland, as a solo artist, although he had 2 records issued in this country, one on Fontana and one on Oriole, is much, much better well known as part of the famous and legendary songwriting team of Holland, Dozier and Holland, which were responsible for many, many big hits on Tamla Motown, by the Supremes, by the Four Tops, and by various other artists on the label. But in his early days, he was a vocalist in his own right. As I said to you before, his first record in the UK was issued on Fontana.
So it had a picture sleeve, did it?
Yeah, I'll come on to that.
Oh.
This was the record issued in England.
Does it say?
If it's love, it's all right.
It says something new, exciting. What's that? Young, new, exciting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was the label that Motown joined in 1963 to issue their records. Now, a bit of an interesting thing, certain countries in Europe didn't have their own pressing plants. Right, so what used to happen is we used to press records in England and then we used to export them out. Now what some countries did, when they received these records, they then independently put them in a picture sleeve. Now with Motown Oriole records, it was invariably the Dutch and the Belgians that would print up picture sleeves to put. Now this picture sleeve is incredibly rare.
Can we see the back?
Yeah. That on the back is a list of Tamla Motown records on the Oriole label that would have been issued in Belgium.
And it says there Ronix Records. So is that the sort of imprint they were using instead of Oriole?
No, this record was sold in Belgium and Holland as it is.
Right.
So it never came out on any other label apart from Oriole. As you can see,
Picture sleeve.
as you can see, it says Oriole.
Yeah.
So they were selling English records, but they put them in an own sleeve. Now I've had a couple of these before. You can get Marvin Gaye, you can get a Marvin Gaye record with a picture sleeve. They didn't all come with picture sleeves, but this one in particular, and the Marvin Gaye came in a picture sleeve.
So tell me, how much is that, and how much is one of them?
Well, this comes as a package.
Right.
I mean, that's as rare as hen's teeth.
Right.
It's not the greatest copy, but it's still intact. That record on its own, you're looking probably about 350, about 350 quid, right? The fact that you got the sleeve that goes with it puts probably another 200 quid on it.
550.
Yeah, so you're looking about 550 for that, right? So staying with the Oriole label.
Okay.
Staying with the Oriole label, these are quite interesting because this is the first time that Martha Reeves and the Vandellas appeared in the UK. This is their very first single.
I'll have to let him go.
Yeah, have to let him go. Absolutely died a death, as did the Ellie Holland. I mean, hardly any of the Oriole records sold in vast quantities.
What does this 1790 mean then?
Well, it's probably a sleeve that got taken off another record.
Right.
Oriole didn't have much success issuing Motown records. The biggest record they had would have been Do You Love Me by the Contours. They had moderate success with You Beat Me to the Punch by Mary Wells. But there are a couple of extremely rare Oriole records that they issued. One is by Mike and the Modifiers, and there's another one by the Balladeers. Impossible to find. So I mean, she is well known today, but this was her first record in the UK. Died of death when on issue. Once again, extremely rare record. That's going to cost you another 500 quid. This was a follow-up that she did almost immediately after this one.
So, what year is this? This is...
Well, this is 63.
63.
As you can see, the number is 1814.
Yeah. 1819, so it's a free.
Right, yeah, so this was five issues afterwards. Now, you could argue why they issued this soon after that, when that died of death. This did get a little bit of a play, and it's the title of their album. Oriole actually issued an album by Martha and the Vandellas. Once again, an extremely difficult album to find. This is slightly less expensive because this one does turn up occasionally.
Right, so that was 550.
Yeah.
That
would be 550 as well.
Yeah.
And the other one would be 400.
So you got £100 discount because it's a bit more easy to find.
So, yeah, but you've got to put that into context. It's still extremely difficult to find.
Unless you're at the ASHTEAD Record Fair.
Unless you're at the ASHTEAD Record Fair. So, as I say, that.
By the way, Dave, someone today thought I worked here.
Sorry?
Someone here thought I worked here.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and they were talking to me about a record that they bought, and it was very strange.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Well, I think you attract that sort of people.
I do. Yeah. I thought I pulled.
Right. When Motown actually, their contract with Oriole didn't last very long. I think they had about 20 singles issued in that year. So apart from the Contours, didn't really pull up any roots, as they say.
Yeah.
So after the contract finished, Motown went with an EMI label, which was Stateside, and they had quite a few records
Like the
issued.
old dollar bill.
Yeah, they had quite a few records issued on Stateside.
We're going up in price here. I just caught that.
Well, yeah, that's slightly different. I'll come on to that.
We'll come on to that.
I'll come on to that.
Right. Right. So we start again. So after this ended,
Yeah.
we went.
So towards the end of '63, once the contract with Oriole was finished, so the Oriole contract was sort of mid-62 to mid-63, and then they signed with a Stateside label, which was part of the EMI conglomerate, right? And this is where you get the more well-known Motown artists appear when they went to Stateside. So you got the Four Tops there. The Temptations first appeared on Stateside. Just trying to think off the top of my head.
Dinah Ross, did she appear on there?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. She appeared as part of the Supremes.
Right.
So the Supremes also made their debut in the UK on the Stateside label. I just thought I'd illustrate this. This was the Four Tops second single.
Without the one you love, life's not worthwhile.
Yes.
Worthwhile is one word, isn't it?
Well, it's supposed to be. So this was their second single. Their first single was "Baby I Need Your Loving," which is synonymous with the Four Tops. This is still a great record. Doesn't resonate with a lot of the Four Top fans, really. I think it's a fantastic record. The B-side's not so dusty either.
Let's have a look at the back. That's quite nice. For every gift occasion, give EMI record tokens from 6. Is that 6?
6 and 8, is it? 6 and 3, 6 and 8, something like
6, whatever that is. 6 shillings, is that?
that. Yeah, probably.
So
6
easy to buy, and so that was 6, and now that's going for, you said.
That'd be 350 quid. But what you're failing to mention, of course, it's a demonstration copy.
Oh, it's a promo.
Yeah, it's a promo copy, which is.
It says not for sale. That.
Yeah.
And it says Brendan Thomas, that's the previous owner. I hate people writing their names on things.
Well, the thing about Brenda is, unfortunately, she's not with us anymore. And
it's Brenda. I thought it was Brenda.
Yeah.
Brenda.
No, it's Brenda.
Did you buy it from the estate?
I effectively bought it from her husband, who, as I say, I bought it off of him after a sad passing. And she worked for EMI in the offices in Manchester Square, London.
Hence you got a demo.
She worked there from 59 to 65 or 66, if I remember. And as you can imagine, she had quite a considerable collection. She probably didn't have to pay for it. But as I say, unfortunately, she passed on, and her husband sold her collection, and I was the lucky beneficiary. There was a lot of Motown records in there, and a lot of records associated with the EMI label, labels like HMV, MGM, the whole stable of EMI companies. So I was very fortunate to pick that up.
Right, so we've been building up to this.
Yeah, this is one of the rarest records on Stateside. A great story involved. This is by an artist called Carolyn Crawford. Now, reputedly, when she recorded this record, she was barely 13 or 14 years old.
Ooh.
And she only had 2 records issued in America. And this is the only one of the two that got issued in this country. No sooner than she issued the second record in America. I think she did a bit of background singing on certain records, but I think she was fairly unceremoniously dumped by Motown once she reached the grand age of about 15 or 16. The reason I like to mention this record is that this is a fantastic record. Both sides, they really do sound fantastic. They are really good records.
Hang on a minute. That's not Smokey Robinson, is it?
Yeah,
W.M. Robinson.
Yeah, William Morrison.
That's Smokey.
William Smokey Robinson.
To say that was well spotted by me.
Yeah,
wasn't
very
it?
good, mate.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
And
Berry Gordy, who we all know,
is the doyen
the doyen of Motown.
Of Motown.
Is he still going?
Yes, he still is.
Because didn't he?
He's about 94 now.
You know, he's behind everyone, isn't he?
I don't know if he is now. I think he's sort of.
Well, so Berry Gordy.
I think he's just celebrated his something like 94th birthday or something.
Happy birthday, Berry.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people, including myself, are very cynical of Berry Gordy.
Oh.
We do not decry the magnificence and
No.
the magnitude of the company.
We
built.
don't.
But the thing is, it's quite ironic that he's still alive, and a lot of the artists that he reputedly.
Hang on, be careful here. Be careful.
Reputedly.
Be careful.
Reputedly stitched up, really.
Can we just say, for the purposes of the channel, these are Dave's views.
They are, yeah. If you want to sue me, you can sue me.
No, you can't be sued for an opinion. But we don't know. I don't know.
Well, you know, he ruled the roost at Motown with an iron fist. Artists were signed and then fairly discarded.
Like old Caroline Crawford.
Like Caroline Crawford. I mean,
Is she still going about? Is she still floating around?
Yeah, I think she's still about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she did some later recordings. I think she recorded one on Philadelphia International and that. But
Let's have a look at the quality of it. Let's see how clean it is.
it's a lovely, lovely copy.
Look at that.
It's a lovely.
I don't know if you can
copy.
see. That looks.
It's a
That's what
lovely-
we call. Would you call that mint?
No, I don't call any record.
No,
mint.
just call it very good.
You know, we're talking about a 60-year-old record here.
Yeah, that's older than me.
So you can't. Well, it's not older than me, I'm afraid.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Sorry.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And that's basically it.
So basically, let's just have a recap. So we've got Eddie Holland.
Yeah.
If It's Love, which
It's
is
alright.
unbelievably rare because it's got the picture sleeve, which was on Oriole Records. Then we had a little chat about Martha and the Vandellas. We talked about Come and Get These Memories, which is rare, and I'll Have to Let Him Go, which was another demonstration disc. Is that? Hang on, it's a demonstration, isn't it? No, they're not demonstrations. Sorry.
No, they're not demonstrating.
Then we
Although
go.
they do exist. They used to have a silver A.
Did they?
That's all they had was a silver A there.
Right. Then we talked about Stateside, which
Yeah.
was the
Four Tops.
Four Tops and Caroline Crawford,
Yeah.
which was I Cleverly Noted, written by Smokey Robinson, who's also known as William.
Yeah.
So you learn something new on this channel, and you also find out. And so, after Stateside, what did Motown do? Did they?
Well, after Stateside, their contract finished at the very beginning of 1965, and then from March '65, Motown was born. Tamla Motown label in the UK was born, and the first record on Motown was "Stopping the Name of Love" by the Supremes, which has the catalogue number of 501. So
there you go. You see something else there you've learned. We're an educational channel,
oh
aren't we?
well, we like that. Educate and entertain, isn't it?
Well,
or something.
yeah. Hopefully, in equal measure.
If we can be pretentious about it.
We're pretentious as well. And yeah, well, that's good. That's good. So we've had an interesting look at Motown, and you love Motown now to this day. I mean,
Oh,
that's still.
it's still my first love, and 60s soul basically. I mean, Motown by association is. A lot of people would say it was pop soul. I mean, they did make some great soul records, basically. But
And Diana Ross is still going.
yeah, it was her birthday this week, wasn't it? I think she's 80 now, isn't she?
She did that live thing last year, didn't she? I think.
Yeah, apparently not very good.
Wait, careful. No, we liked it.
Apparently not very good. Apparently she mimed some. Apparently.
Listen,
Apparently.
we don't know. We
don't
love
know.
her.
No,
we
we
love her.
don't know.
Shall I tell you the song that I love? I'm gonna have to cut this because I can't remember. And once again you came, you told me that you love me.
I'm still waiting.
Yep, right, I'm going to do that again.
I'm still.
So one of my favourite Diana Ross tracks and I get slated for this, is I'm still waiting.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
It's a great,
and I don't know if you're aware, they did like a house version of it
no, I didn't.
in the 80s. You'd hate it.
No,
You'd hate it.
Well, probably being a purist, I probably would. Yeah.
I must apologise for this. Doing this interview outside the gents' toilets. It's a little bit inappropriate, but it's the only place we can go.
But it's inaccessible to the rest of the people. Anyway,
Exactly,
so
there's no one in there. But see, the thing is, we've had to come out here because the other dealers love playing their music loud, and you think they should.
Well, it helps sell their wares, doesn't it? Basically.
Yeah, it doesn't help the channel.
It doesn't
I keep
help the
getting
channel.
copyright claims.
But with all due respect, they probably don't give monkeys.
No, they don't, and why should they?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been a fantastic one. Are you going to be at the next one?
Yeah, I'll be here next time.
Okay,
I'll be
and
here next time.
let's have another talk about...
Well, what I'll probably do next time is I'll probably do some 60s soul stuff. I've got some really nice 60s soul at the moment.
Okay, and here's something interesting for people following the channel. And by the way, thank you for everyone who's subscribed. The subscribers are going crazy, which is really good for this tiny little niche channel. But ask a couple of questions in the chat, and next time I'm here with Dave, I'll put the question to him. Nothing silly, but if you've got a question about rare records,
let's hope I can answer them.
but if you can't, it'll be an interesting video, won't it? But it also can be Dave's opinion, because it's all opinions.
I know I do have opinions.
You should.
I do have opinions.
Anyway, thank you for watching the channel. Please like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Paul. Cheers, mate.